There was once a young woodworker named Sora who lived in a small mountain village in Japan. He was talented. Everyone said so. His hands were steady. His eye for detail was sharp, and his mind was full of the most extraordinary visions. He could see, clearly, the furniture he would one day build. Grand tables with joints so precise they needed no nails. Cabinets with doors that closed without a sound. He could picture every curve, every grain, every angle. And so, every few weeks, Sora would make an announcement. "This is the month I begin my masterpiece," he would say. He would wake before dawn. He would lay out his finest tools. He would select the most beautiful piece of timber, and he would work furiously, passionately, for 3 days, sometimes 4. And then he would stop. The wood wasn't right. The weather was too humid. He needed better tools first. He needed to study more. He would say, "I'm not ready yet. When the conditions are perfect, I'll create something the world has never seen." And this is where most people watching this video will feel something uncomfortable, because Sora's story is not unique. It is yours. You have started the workout plan on Monday and abandoned it by Thursday. You have downloaded the language app, completed one lesson, and never opened it again. You have told yourself, "This year will be different," so many times that the words have lost all weight. You are not lazy. You are not broken. You are Sora. And like Sora, you have been lied to. Not by someone else, by yourself. Every autumn, the craftsmen of the valley would gather for the Tenjikai, a public exhibition where woodworkers displayed their finest creations. For years, Sora had avoided it. "Next year," he would say, "when my skills are ready." But in his 28th year, his teacher, old Master Fujita, insisted. "You will attend," Fujita said. "Not to display, just to see." And Sora went, and what he saw destroyed him. There were pieces of breathtaking beauty, a rocking chair with legs that curved like the necks of cranes, a writing desk with inlaid patterns so detailed they looked like frozen rivers, and the craftsmen who built them, they were not geniuses. They were not prodigies. They were his former classmates, people who had started at the same time as him, people whose hands had once been clumsier than his. But they had one thing Sora did not. They had finished things. Not perfect things, not extraordinary things, just things, one after another, for years. Sora walked home that night in silence, and for the first time in his life, the truth landed on him with its full, unbearable weight. He had spent a decade dreaming of the mountain's peak, and he had not climbed a single step. His ambition had not made him a craftsman. It had made him a spectator. His dreams had not lifted him higher. They had kept him perfectly, comfortably still. On his way home, Sora crossed the long wooden bridge over the Kawa River. He stopped in the middle and leaned against the railing. He noticed the wood beneath his hands was smooth, impossibly smooth, worn by decades of travelers. "You are putting a great deal of weight on my bridge tonight." Sora looked up. "You built this bridge?" "I placed the first plank 41 years ago," Ito said simply. Sora stared at the bridge. It stretched 200 feet across the river. Thick beams, intricate railings, solid enough to carry ox carts. 41 years? "One plank at a time," Ito said. "Some days, I placed one plank and went home. Some days, the rain came and I simply oiled a single joint. But I never let a day pass without placing my hands on this bridge." Sora shook his head. "But that's too small. One plank is nothing." And Master Ito smiled. "You are standing on 10,000 nothings, young man." Ito looked out over the water and spoke quietly. "A single raindrop does not think it is responsible for the flood, but remove it, and the river falls. You do not need to become great tomorrow, Sora. You need to place one plank today, and then again tomorrow. The bridge builds itself. You just have to show up." Then Ito said something Sora would carry for the rest of his life. "The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones, but the man who waits for the strength to carry the whole mountain dies in its shadow." That night, Sora went home and made a single, quiet decision. He did not announce it. He did not write it on his wall. He did not tell a single soul. He made what we will call the one plank promise. The rules were brutally simple. Rule 1. Every single day, without exception, you complete one small action toward your goal. Not 2, not 10, 1. Rule 2. The action must be so small that it feels almost embarrassing. If it feels impressive, it is too big. Sharpen one chisel, sand one edge, read one page, write one sentence. Rule 3. You do it before you feel ready. You do it before motivation arrives. You do it when it is raining. You do it when you are tired. You do it when every part of your mind is screaming that it doesn't matter. Because the promise is not to your ambition, it is to your identity. And here's the part that most people miss. The part that Sora almost missed. This method does not work because small actions are powerful. It works because small actions are repeatable. And what is repeatable becomes a rhythm, and what becomes a rhythm becomes automatic. And what becomes automatic becomes who you are. You do not build a craft. You build a craftsman, one plank at a time. He did not feel inspired. He did not feel ready. He felt nothing, and he did it anyway. Because Sora had finally understood the most dangerous lie of the ambitious mind, that feelings must come before action. They do not. They never have. The warrior does not wait to feel brave before entering battle. He enters battle, and bravery follows his feet. 1 year later, autumn returned, and so did the Tenjikai. Sora entered the hall. This time, he was not empty-handed. He carried a single chair. It was not the most ornate piece in the room. It was not the largest. But every joint was precise. Every surface was smooth. Every curve was intentional. And when people sat in it, they did not want to stand up. An old judge examined it closely. He ran his fingers along the back. "How long did this take you?" he asked. Sora thought about it. 1 year, he said. Then he paused. "No, 1 day." Repeated 312 times. But the chair was not the real transformation. The real transformation was this. Sora no longer waited for the feeling. He no longer bargained with the weather, or his mood, or his energy. He no longer confused thinking about his craft with practicing his craft. He had stopped being an ambitious man. He had become a disciplined one. And for the first time in his life, his hands had built something his mind alone never could. If you are watching this video and you recognize yourself in Sora, if you have been the person who plans instead of practices, who visualizes instead of visits the work, then hear this clearly. You do not need a better strategy. You do not need more motivation. You do not need the perfect morning routine or the right playlist or the right moment. You need one plank today. Not because it will change your life tonight. It won't. But because 300 planks from now, you will look back and realize you are standing on a bridge you built. And beneath your feet will be 10,000 small days that no one applauded, but that held. The mountain is climbed one step at a time, not by staring at its peak and wishing to be there. So close this video, pick up the chisel, place the plank, and make the only promise that has ever mattered, not to your dreams, to your day. The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. Confucius. Place your plank today.